Hello everybody, this is Swarmlord39 of Almost Cool here with another episode of Danganronpa. As long as this... Yep, there we go. I've had false starts today, of all the days. The day that I actually wanted to not have false starts. If I took that off, I'd have 6 points available. Increases the time limit of each phase. Oh, hello. No, I want that. Means I can get lost in thought, increases the time limit for each phase. The tranquility for algorithm. I believe let's do that. Alrighty. So, with that, we're all set for our trial. Let's do this.
Let's begin with a basic. If you can.
Yep.
We already know who did it.
Whoa! Deja vu.
The one who killed Sakura is one of the people that hated her. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It was one of you.
Idiot.
I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah! I'd never kill so-
I don't want to hear your stupid excuses.
Must have some reason for believing that. Boy's account.
It was one of you. One of you killed Sakura.
And what reason do you have for saying?
Because you all had a motive. You hated her.
Is that it?
That doesn't make any.
That's the only reason you have her accusing us?
No, that's wrong.
Boom. Let's just go
Another
right through
reason you
this.
suspect them is because Sakura wanted to meet with them, right?
Yeah, and that was right before she died.
Yep.
So there's no doubt about it. One of those three killed her.
And then your argument. Pocket trash.
The fact that Sakura wanted to meet with all three, there's no way that's not one of you is absolutely guilty.
I don't deny that she wanted to meet. I never went to see her.
I didn't either.
Yeah, same here. I never saw her.
Come on. There's no, at least one of you is lying.
Okay, then it was. And then we shoot it at
That Sakura, there's no way that one of you is
I don't deny that I never went.
I didn't either.
Yeah, same here. I never-
No, that's wrong.
Boom.
Hiro, when we were talking, it was white with red polka dots.
What's that got-
Red polka dots? That's gotta be the wrapper from the candy I gave Sakura.
No?
Ever since we got into the warehouse, I totally... So there's no way a single one of them was left in the warehouse.
In that case, Hiro, where did you get that piece of candy?
From Sakura.
Well, she gave it to me forever ago.
When? When?
The last time you saw Sakura was...
Yeah, so,
I got it!
Yep.
I'm not sure if Hina didn't actually give Sakura the candy till after she left the nurse's office. So if that was the last time you saw her, there's no reason you should have had that candy.
damn it. Oh, that's right. I did meet up with her in the-
Why the sud...
But we just talked, that's all. I didn't do anything.
You're acting incredibly suspicious.
You're acting incredible.
More hostility.
It's not just normal hostility. I'm talking about her shining mess. At the scene of the crime, she had written out it was her dying message.
That's true.
See?
What are you...
You just don't know.
Hiro, when did you see that dying message of hers?
Huh? Well,
But if you recall, Hina, so it's hard to believe.
It was on the magazine shelf.
Kyoko,
That's right. Looking through I found it right there at the scene of the...
if that's true, then what?
What doesn't make sense?
Right, he said he never...
I can tell you exactly when I found when Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found it was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. When I pulled it out,
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense. I can tell you exactly when Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you it was only after the investigation. I found the magazine tucked away on when I pulled it out.
Right,
What
okay,
said
so
makes total sense.
I'm guessing...
I can tell you exactly when Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when
it was only after the investigation had... I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf.
when I pulled it out.
What's your What I said makes total sense.
Okay, let's try...
I can tell you exactly when I found when Ogre's body was discovered.
No, that's wrong.
Okay, I was right. I needed that truth. I needed to take that
When
counter with
Sakura's
it.
body was found, that magazine was sitting on the shelf nearby. That's where Kyoko found, and you weren't at the murder scene. Tell us the truth here.
Hold on. You're focusing on all you gotta do is read the Vienna sausage Ogre left us, and we know who.
I don't even know where to be. He's just.
Actually, can we even be
I think we can all agree 100%, without a doubt,
Her palms were clean, right? Oh, right.
Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Give it a rest. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. The end is nigh. Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Give it a rest. Show me the proof.
This should prove it.
There we go.
I'm completely unconvinced because if you look at it, both of her hands were completely free of blood.
Say what?
Then, who did write it?
Hiro could very well have written it himself. That would explain how he knew about the
Yeah,
I figured.
But
because I killed her! Please. I got Ogre's note, and so I had to...
You just did exactly.
And when I got... And that's all she said. Suddenly. As soon as I heard that, like she was gonna kill me and... So of course I saw my only chance. I hit her from... Then she just... Once it was over, I pulled myself together. So I wrote Toko's name in blood.
I can't believe you!
Well, that's...
You're not gonna get off. It's death. We're ready to vote now, right?
No, I think
What are you talking about?
there's one thing that, and until we figure that part out.
I got it!
Why was the magazine hidden?
That's true. Everything... By the time the body was discovered, why would you take the time to write that message?
Oh, I didn't hide it. I'm sure I just left it sitting there on the table.
Really?
He's lying!
I don't see any reason he would.
Assuming he's telling the truth, in other words, at least one other person was in the rec room both before and after the incident.
I don't think there's any question about that.
Then
If they went to the trouble, they must not have liked what was written on it.
I got it!
Toko herself, obviously.
It had to be. Who else would want to hide the magazine other than the person?
is he right, Toko?
Why? Wait! That doesn't even matter! Hero!
That's right.
No.
What?
Don't doubt Hero attacked Sakura with the bottle.
What do you mean? What he means is that Hero...
You can't be serious!
Hero, if we go through it once more, just tell us what happened one more time.
I don't really see what.
Yeah, he's not the real kid. Dang it. Oh. Why she would have vomited blood. Two blows.
I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the shelf nearby, and I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
You hit her from behind.
And you only hit her once.
Yeah, just once.
No, that's wrong.
Bing. 10 minutes in and wait.
If Sakura died from Hero's single blow, that doesn't explain why she had 2 head wounds.
Two?
That's right. She had 2 separate wounds on her head.
And remember, this girl examines dead bodies as a hobby. Personally, I'm inclined to believe her.
But I only hit her once. How could she have 2 wounds?
2 wounds means she was struck twice.
Hold on. She was attacked twice.
It's not just because of her head wounds.
Oh.
There's something that... Once you understand that point, think back. After the incident,
4.
and we found pieces of a bottle on...
That was the bottle Hero hit.
For now, just note that but originally, there were 6 bottles.
But
how... That's easy. If you look at what the bottles all...
Chess. Alrighty. Yeah, it's chess pieces.
Now I understand.
Oh, despite the investigation leaving a lot more questions than answers, this has been fairly
That's it.
straightforward
The
so
chess
far.
pieces. Inside each bottle, there was a
King, rook, bishop, pawn.
and the piece that was inside the knight.
Good night.
so?
I guess you don't know too. In chess, there are 6 different...
There's the queen.
What was left intact at the crime scene were the... And on the ground was the knight.
Oh, so the queen is missing.
So we only have evidence for 5 bottles at the scene.
What does Chet?
Yeah!
Yeah! Wait, so let's say there's still no evidence that that bottle could have just...
No. It's clear...
How is it?
Think about what state the missing bottle must have been in.
I got it!
It was broken.
The bottle must have been broken.
What makes you...
Because there was evidence at this...
Huh?
That's right. We found evidence.
And what is this?
It was the,
I got it!
that bottle
Earlier,
experiment.
Kyoko and I, we compared the weight of the broken bottle. And what we found was that the collection of pieces was heavier. There was actually more than 1 bottle's worth of shattered glass.
So from this, we can surmise that but someone did their best to clean up the pieces, but when they did, which is only natural, they spent...
Because of what it would reveal about the case.
By second
I
attacker.
got it! The
Some
bottle
bowler
that was removed
was
from
that
the
option.
scene was used the second
wound on Sakura, given all the evidence.
the killer wanted to make it look like there was only one attack.
From there, we can conclude. Wouldn't you agree? And there's the matter of the magazine. You must have been.
Oh, wait! I admit, but there's no evidence I had an.
No way! You killed her!
Shut up! Until 2 seconds.
I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. Plus, I just remembered.
Okay.
It was right after I was kind of nervous about it, so I was waiting there. I saw Toko. Pretty soon, Ogre showed up. I assumed Toko was still in, but when I got inside,
And you just snapped.
after the shock of thinking I'd killed someone,
Could someone tighten the screws on his...
so Toko,
You don't know what you're talking.
I'm sure she didn't disappear.
Hiding in the Why are you?
New element. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. Educational purposes, we're gonna pretend you're set to mean regardless. You're about halfway through the game now.
It's a lie! I admit nothing. I hate you. I curse you. No, no, no! That's enough! I admit nothing. I curse you. I curse you. It's a lie! That's enough! That's enough!
This should prove it.
There we go. To be fair, that was easy enough.
Did you know someone left a handprint behind on the inside of the locker? They must have been hiding in there and put their hand on the wall. Does his handprint look...
Okay then, let's just compare it.
Stop wasting...
Okay, it's my handprint.
Wow, that was calm.
she just
Then you killed.
No, I
Out with it.
probably did kill her.
Wow.
straight up.
Wait,
Give us the details, Toko.
Talk.
After I read Sakura's note, I didn't know what she meant, so I figured I'd.
Then, did you see?
Yes. And I.
Well,
So after he left and put the magazine.
But when you did,
I didn't mean to.
Imbecile.
forget all that.
After I put the magazine back, and when I. There was Sakura. When I saw that blood, I don't remember what happened after that.
Guess it's back!
Oh gosh dang it.
it was your fault.
My fault, Master's fault. When our faults combine.
Just answer.
Well, to be honest, Miss Morose and me don't actually share our memories.
Huh.
So I can't really say what was going on. But I was just minding my own business, sleeping peacefully. Was it a prince paying me a visit? Splatter everywhere! And, well, I got so startled, I smacked her with the first thing I could find, which I guess was a bottle. Sakura was just worried about you. No, she's terrible. Thanks to her, I murdered someone who wasn't an adorable boy for the first time ever.
And when it was all over, you...
I wasn't about to die for some woman. If I'm gonna go down, I want it to be for killing Master.
Oh dear
Go
mercy.
away and die your meaningless...
But I just can't catch a break, you know? Fate's got... Because normally, Sakura should have been able to dodge my attack, no problem.
Even as strong as she is,
Hey, come on. But anyway, I'm not.
Well then, that's that. What's wrong?
No.
Huh? Not yet?
Don't you think there was something odd about
Odd.
Hiro's attack and then Toko? Tell us your story one more. Then even this gaggle of idiots should understand.
Your wish is my command, darling.
At least they aren't making me accuse someone yet.
You were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood, so you smashed her head in.
You got it! I snapped!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up! I killed her there in front of the shelf!
Dang it, missed.
I was just sleeping, and all of a sudden, I remember waking up.
You were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre, so you smashed her.
You got it! I snapped!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up! I killed her there in front of the shelf!
No, that's wrong.
That one was... Again, this has been remarkably easy.
We found Sakura sitting upright in a chair. If the blow by the shelf was the cause of death, there's no explanation why she was in that chair.
So, you finally noticed.
That's just enough.
Are you sure you didn't attack?
No, I'm sure she's telling the truth. Anyone who...
I got it! Sakura was definitely... The blood stain by the magazines is proof of that.
Then she must have moved the body after she killed her, right? All to make it look like I did it. Because when
Hey, come on now, look at me. I can't carry anything heavier than my own scissors. There's no way I could move a muscle-bound heavyweight like that.
Then what's the deal?
Well, are you...
Plus, the biggest mystery until we take care of that.
Oh, after she killed Sakura.
So while everything was all confused and hectic,
No, I got it!
Alright.
Even before we opened the door to the rec room, Hina and I... And at that point,
That
the
phrasing
locker
could have
was
been better.
already open. So obviously,
I don't know. What's this whole locked room thing about anyway?
how do you not know?
I think the fact that I don't know proves I didn't kill her. Thank you very much. You're lying.
No, she's not.
But if Genocide Jill didn't do...
And
Well,
that's because you're overlooked.
What was it that killed Ogre? If it wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
there's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head.
no, that's wrong.
Break again.
According to the Monokuma file, Sakura had vomited blood. I think we can assume there's a chance. In fact, there was even a trace of blood left around her mouth.
Well, I mean,
If that's all it was, not to mention, I didn't find any cuts inside her mouth.
you even checked in there? God, you really are into dead bodies!
No, I'm not into dead bodies.
But if there wasn't a cut or anything, then
Some sort of reaction. Sakura was poisoned.
poisoned?
That's right. This is the conclusion I've arrived at, and so there can be no mistake.
You're making me go all weak in the knees! She was poisoned? It isn't possible!
Is it really so hard to believe? Then let me explain exactly.
You can...
Of course.
Everyone, quiet!
But you're the...
The key to unlocking this mystery...
Not in the...
You never would have, since you gave up on the search the Well, there's a big shelving unit in the... And that's where I found this.
Is that...
It's not an especially powerful poison, but the specific properties don't matter.
Where'd you find it?
The shelf is divided up into 3. In Section A, dietary supplements.
And that's where the poison came from?
Well,
I got it!
That one they literally gave to
Poison
me.
was actually in section...
strange, isn't it? Why would there be a bottle of poison mixed in with all those nutritional additives?
Yeah, so...
Because the culprit switched it out. That's why.
What?
I mean, this. Ugh, that tastes awful.
Oh no! You have to drink some water! You can't just swallow powder!
Idiot! He just swallowed.
The flavor certainly makes me want to spit it out. I'm talking about the protein, of course.
Protein?
Can I see that bottle for a second?
Sure.
It's protein powder.
Correct. That wasn't poison in the bottle, but harmless protein powder. Which makes one wonder, the poison that should have been in that bottle, where did it go?
Protein drink. There we go.
Now I understand. The poison must have been poured into the protein can. If the protein's in the poison bottle...
Absolutely. So the protein was in the bottle of poison. Once you accept that, it becomes obvious how the culprit was...
Holy crap!
All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene.
I got it!
Okay.
You're saying they gave her a protein drink, right?
A protein drink which actually contained a deadly poison.
What?
That's all it took to kill
You know? I do remember. So maybe she took it to.
But what was offered to her instead, and I already know.
For real?
Evidence revealing who replaced the two
I got it!
It was the...
The footprints left... That's the evidence you're talking about, isn't it?
I visited the chem lab this morning. They must have appeared around the time of the murder. What's more, the footprints were in front of Section A, where I found the bottle. The culprit must have gone to Section A to swap the poison and protein, leave...
Except for...
And given how clear the prints were, all we have to do is check everyone...
It was me. The footprints. They're mine.
Hina?
If you're all gonna find, I'd rather you hear it. Yep, I did it. I killed Sakura.
Just as I suspected. The footprints were made by a pair of... And the only people here...
I got it!
Oh, it's Makoto and someone.
Me and Hina are the only ones. Oh, so Byakuya. That explains why you...
If the footprints didn't belong to Makoto, plus, Hina's been you were in an awful rush this whole time. You've been focused... What about it?
Well, it's...
That's likely exactly because they were so close. So Hina used that trust to kill her. She deceived the victim, and I have to say, Hina...
Hina, did you really... Why?
I found her. She asked me to bring, but when I went to get the...
Now's my chance to kill. That's when you switched out the protein.
And then... And...
Hold it. I'm not convinced.
You're not about to claim she... You still don't get it, do you? Honeyed words like friend, not a person alive. Just like how this girl said...
You say that. Don't misunderstand me. But there's still that one
Are you talking about the...
Hina, if you really are...
Well,
Sakura... Did Sakura kill herself?
that doesn't matter. Just because I'm guilty, that means I have...
No, it doesn't.
Surely you're not... Do you honestly think...
And if
Impossible. She switched out...
Are you sure? Even ignoring the fact that I don't...
What doesn't?
I mean, why would it's too...
He's right. It makes it look like you...
I was just...
You didn't...
Yeah.
Listen, Hina. Tell us more about when you...
How come?
Hina.
Waste your time if you like. There's nobody else to...
Go ahead, Hina.
Right away, I went to...
And is that when you spilled...
Yeah.
I see.
So then I moved to Section A and got the. I took the protein can, but I accidentally, and because of that.
That story, first you went to Section C, meaning you went from
Yeah.
Can you repeat that series?
What's wrong with you, Big Mac?
It's the same thing no matter.
This one... Why does this one feel so much easier?
First, I went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground.
Yeah. When I grabbed.
Okay.
And I moved from Section C to Section.
Nope.
No, that's wrong. You said you went to get the poison from Section C,
Yeah?
and after that... But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from that contradiction.
Yeah.
What?
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction on purpose.
No, that can't...
What the? Hina.
You lied to us. If you look at the footprints, the powder had already been spilled, so you never went to sections.
Well,
What the hell? What's going on here?
Oh my
The
gosh.
footprints aren't. Before I explain that part,
New evidence?
are you sure?
I
It was hidden inside the bottle of poison. I'm amazed you of all.
just say it all.
I found it had sunk to the bottom of the bottle, and the hidden clue was exposed. I couldn't have solved the mystery.
But
Oh, you still Makoto? Huh?
What do you explain?
it,
I got it!
The rec room window?
It's part of the window from the rec room door.
How? What?
the window?
The window we broke to get in was light blue, just like that.
You're right. It must be. How did a shard of glass from
what's so strange about that?
What's strange is that... I got it!
We've already been back in
The
Section A.
bottle of poison was left on the shelf in the chem lab. That is what you said.
Oh.
Right, Hina?
Is it?
And yet, somehow a piece of glass from the rec room window made its way into the bottle.
Everything Hina told us.
In reality, that bottle of poison most definitely it was there at least until the window got broken. There's no other way to explain the presence of that glass in that bottle.
And then, once the room was opened, the bottle somehow got moved back. Meanwhile, the protein can we found at the crime, that had to be after the locked room was opened.
Wait, hold on. You're moving too fast. I'll grant you, the bottle of poison may, but how can you say the protein can was put there? We already know she was given that can wasn't there.
You're right. But before we do, it has to do with after Sakura's body was discovered.
What are you talking about?
Not at all.
Well, no.
Yeah,
Not me.
Same here. Yeah.
Okay then, that proves that the protein can found.
Oh, come on! How can you know?
Proof afterwards. Because it was laying on top of the glass. It shouldn't. There should not have been anything on it, under it. If it came in before we broke the glass.
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in mind until the locked room was unlocked. It absolutely was.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we...
No. No, that's impossible. It had to have been in there the whole time. It had to be.
It was in there before.
no,
Boom.
that's wrong. You remember how there was broken glass scattered all around the room, right?
Of course. It came from the...
Well, those pieces, we also found pieces underneath the can.
What?
And this proves
Oh,
it.
it does. Is this,
It
please?
shows that the can must have been, so it had to be.
I see. Kyoko, earlier when you
Please
asked
tell
if
me.
anyone had moved the can...
If that were the case, that
So you asked everyone about.
and that's made as long as it was a locked room. It only contained the bottle of poison. But once the room was opened up, the protein can wound up in the rec room.
If that's all true, then why did Sakura drink the poison? I thought we all agreed she was tricked into drinking it because of the protein can.
No, that's not why. The only explanation is she drank it from its original bottle, knowing exactly what it was.
Precisely. She was alone in a locked room.
You're saying she drank it knowing what it was? Such a ridiculous fiction.
Exactly what happened.
Then tell us already. Sorry.
Before we get to
Commit
that,
suicide.
we need to clarify one other we need to establish who exactly
It was Hina, right?
What do you think?
It was Sakura.
I got it! I think it was Sakura herself.
Huh? So Sakura, who was apparently murdered. What are you talking?
On the contrary, we know for a fact she...
You're lying! Why?
Bullet time. Bullet time.
You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you! You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking! You're a liar! Do you have any kind of proof Sakura took the poison?
This should prove it.
So it didn't give me multiple bullets that time. Okay?
Hina, did you know that Sakura's foot had a certain yellow powder stuck to it?
It did?
It did. The same yellow powder that had been spilled by the shelf in the chem lab. That powder... So the powder we found on Sakura...
Wait. So,
And it was only on her instep, right?
Sakura must have been standing right there where the powder was spilled. So the person who spilled the powder by the shelf wasn't Hina, but Sakura. And when Sakura dropped the bottle, she dropped it away from where she was actually standing, which is how she was able to avoid getting it all over herself. But the powder still got scattered around. Is there any problem with my thinking?
But why did Sakura pay a... The only explanation is that she was looking for poison.
No! Because I...
No, you didn't kill her.
Sakura killed herself.
Here's my answer. The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
What? The killer was Sakura?
wait, so you're saying it was suicide?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it any more than I believe I can fly.
I can't believe it either. Or rather, I don't want to believe it. But when you really think about it, everything matches up. Sakura went and got the poison. She barricaded herself in a room, and she drank it, all so she could end her own life. And that explains why we couldn't solve the mystery of the locked room. I got it! The locked room mystery was created by Sakura.
I'm sure she locked herself in so nobody could stop her from doing what she did. She sat there, drank the poison, and breathed her last breath. And the empty bottle of poison rolled around the locked room until we came and opened it. At that point, someone grabbed the bottle and snuck it out of the room.
Hina was the
And
first to
that
leave.
was you, wasn't it, Hina? You did it to throw off the... When we found her body, because you already knew Sakura was dead. And because the bottle of poison...
That's when you picked up the bottle, right? I was too shocked to notice anything. And Kyoko was busy checking the body.
And the more I think about it...
Yeah.
You said you were going to go get everyone else, but your real intention was to go... Once you were at the chem lab, you took the powder and poured it into the bottle of... When you left the lab, thinking about it like that...
When you were done, you gathered everyone...
Yeah.
While everyone else was focused on... Honestly, you should have been the first one to run up to Sakura's lifeless body. The Hina I know never would have left her side in a situation like that.
So, Sakura committed suicide. In order to hide this fact, Hina undertook a series of actions to undermine the investigation. As long as you could disguise the truth, you didn't care if we blamed you for her death. That's why you didn't bother to get rid of such obvious evidence, right? The footprints in the powder and the bottle of poison? Vital pieces of evidence, and yet...
So you're saying Hina consciously deceived us to make it look like she killed Sakura?
No! No! No, 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 no! I killed her!
That's enough, Hina.
It's not!
It is! Actually, we have to end this
Really? We have to end this properly. So it's gonna make me do this just because. It didn't even bother. Yeah, no, then it's...
Here's exactly what happened.
Yeah, despite it not being clear at first, this actually was a very
This
straightforward
began
case
when
to put
Sakura
together,
asked a
trial
number
to go
of people
through.
to meet her in the rec room. Specifically, those people were Hiro, Toko, and Byakuya. But one of them headed out a bit earlier than the others. Toko. She got there one step ahead of everyone else.
Yep.
And she found it.
Unlock her to get out of sight.
Then, from inside, next to her. When he got there, he mistakenly thought Sakura was... Without thinking, he grabbed it, thinking he killed her. He took a magazine from to that end. Toko, by writing... But of course, Toko had witnessed...
Yep.
She jumped out of the lock. But in her rush she put the magazine... Soon after, she also saw the blood drip. This caused her personality to switch back over to Genocide Jack. When she woke back up, her second personality also saw the blood-soaked Sakura. and And just like Hiro, this explains why, assuming Sakura really was dead this time, she gathered up the broken Monokuma bottle shards. And that explains how Sakura was But even after those 2 blows, so then, what was Sakura's actual cause of death? It was the poison that Sakura herself got from the chem lab. She turned the rec room into a true locked room scenario. And there, later on, we had to smash the... But someone already knew. And that same someone...
Yep.
And while nobody was looking, they did all this specific in an attempt to guide the trial, and the one who went...
Well, this is an odd one because...
was you, Hina.
Finished in proper style, but the one who killed Sakura was
That's
Sakura
the
herself.
truth of the case.
And she's already dead.
Sakura took her own life, and you claim to be the killer to hide that fact. Isn't that right?
That's what happened? But, Makoto, how did you manage to... How were you able to uncover the truth that even I couldn't discern?
Huh? Oh, well, I mean...
You still haven't realized? We don't all act according to calculations and cost-benefit diagrams. That's what makes us so complicated. That's what you don't understand. And that's why you couldn't solve this case. See? Didn't I tell you? When you dismiss other people's feelings, it'll always come back to bite you in the end.
I was hoping that she was talking that when she said that it meant that he'd come back and get him pinned when he tried to make his escape. Dang. 19 points short of max.
Okay. I think we can all agree you made your point. Did you guys forget already? You still haven't voted yet.
Oh yeah.
You seriously forgot?
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Maybe you don't want to. So, will you make the right? What's it gonna be?
We all know who killed Sakura. It was Sakura herself, which means you can't do it jack squat.
Okay. My entire existence!
What did you say? Come on. What are you thinking?
Don't be mean!
What is this? You should have been the one to die! What? What is this?
That's... That hits a lot closer to home than yeah. I'm not gonna go into specifics, but that hits really close to home for me. Yeah.
No forgiveness! I can't forgive this!
But,
Hina. They're friends.
what? What are you saying? I won't forgive you. Why? Huh?
Hina. Hina.
Huh? Huh?
Some...
Please. Why? 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 Why?
Hey! Hey! Hey!
What is this? What are you saying?
In other words, yes indeed.
What the heck?
Of course. Yep. Too bad. It's true.
Huh?
Unbelievable. Well now, well now, well. Damn it! Pung, pung. Phew. Shing!
And?
What are you gonna do? Hey, hey! But hold on.
Enough already.
Yes, indeed.
As you know, I've been giving information to the one who's imprisoned you here. You see, the mastermind took control of my family's dojo and demanded I become their tool. I couldn't let it be destroyed under my watch, so even if it meant my own life, I had to protect it. That's how I saw things. And what the mastermind wanted from... However, as I lived here, my resolve began to weaken. I cannot betray those who would call me their friend. I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you. Of course, I understand if you all hate me. All of this is because of my own weakness. So this is my atonement for betraying you. My own situation has started having an effect on more people than just me. Which is exactly what the Mastermind wanted when they revealed my betrayal. Of course, I'm still responsible for that as well. But I've decided the one I'm going to kill is myself. If it can save you, then sacrificing my own life could have no greater meaning. Whatever you think of me, please know that you are all my most treasured friends.
Huh? No way!
Correct. However,
Finally, Hina, I want to apologize to you especially.
I mean...
I never saw you as my enemy. You were only ever my friend, who I wanted to help as much as possible. Hina, whatever it takes, survive. Survive along with everyone else, no matter what. Just survive.
But...
What are you gonna do? Uh-oh. Too bad. Huh? Say what?
You know? Well?
Ooh-hoo. What? What do you want? How strange. Hey! Phew. Huh?
Naturally. Don't make me repeat myself.
What?
It's all clear now.
Wow! Oh, jeez.
What the heck?
You want me to punish?
What? But...
Wrong. Listen up. Yoo-hoo! Let's give it a...
What? No. bad.
Oh no!
Phew.
So, but still, I'm gonna do my best.
What's the matter? Hmm.
Just as I thought.
Actually... Yaha!
What are you thinking?
Yep. Phew. Hey,
I want to be able to help.
Very nice. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Well? Uh-huh.
What?
Yep.
Huh?
Hello.
Hina.
Yaha! Too bad.
What?
You guys? Huh? Too bad.
What?
What? Well,
What?
You. Who? Hey,
Yo. But,
Yes.
um...
Not possible. Stop talking.
Sorry.
no.
Huh?
What?
What the heck?
I see.
ah,
No.
There's more?
As soon, okay?
Kyoko?
yes.
Huh?
I said.
So cute.
Wait, what?
It's true. Whew. Hey. Correct.
There's more.
Makoto. So... Goodbye.
Well, let's... At least it's not gonna make me walk all the way there.
What's this? Damn it! Hey! Unbelievable.
Just a second.
You guys?
It's true. Hey. Shall we go?
Go.
Goodbye.
Oh.
Whew. Goodbye.
Ah, she used me as a distraction.
Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
Oh boy. Okay, so that's it, everyone. And we'll be saving it here. So, that was a very interesting chapter. I will say again, it hit a little bit too close to home for me. Though it did kind of lighten back up when we heard her real reasoning. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and leave it here. Well, everyone, next time we'll be starting Chapter 5, and we'll be seeing how things start to go from here. So, until next time, everyone, see you later. Bye-bye.